Hi, today I'm going to show you how I thrift and what I thrift and why I thrift it. So basically what's happening in my world is that I'm trying to eat healthier, and so I'm buying foods and ingesting foods and drinking products that are healthy for me. And one of the things that I have found that works for me and keeps me on that even keel in my health is olive oil. And olive oil, I use it for my cooking. I use it for basically everything. Olive oil is amazing. You can even use it on your skin. However, I don't. I use, I can't pronounce it, jojoba oil. I use jojoba oil. And I buy it in the little essential oils, the little tiny ones, and it works amazing, right? So, and I also use rose hip oil for my skin. I'm finding that my skin, it's getting better, but at one point in time in my healing journey, my skin was very, very dry, and I was getting very, very deep wrinkles, especially around here. Now I still have them. A little bit of a facelift wouldn't hurt, but they're a lot less than they were. And I mean, think about it. I'm in my 60s right now. I'm also having this hair thing going on, and I use hair oil. So I use oils that have like a vitamin E in them and vitamin C and all sorts of things, right? So I'm very, very vigilant on that, and I'm focused on it because who else is going to be focused on it? It's my skin. Anyhow, okay, so I want to show you some of the craft things and the good ideas that I've come up with to kind of incorporate into my life. Now, the first one is, as I said, I do use a lot of virgin olive oil. And so I don't know how many of you have one of these, but I found this in a thrift store. And it's a vinegar bottle and an olive oil bottle. And each of them you notice they have a really pretty little olive leaf tree on it. So it's really, really pretty. However, it's clear, right? So for the vinegar, that's fine, right? But for the oil, you have to be careful about your oil going rancid. If it is in a place where it's hot, if it's getting a lot of sun, things like that. So I do buy olive oil, and I go through an awful lot of olive oil. And so I was thinking, well, what can I do to combat that, right? How can I utilize what I already have to combat my oil going rancid, besides keeping it in the cupboard? And I came upon a really good idea. So the olive oil itself, when it's in the stores, it is in these type of bottles, an opaque bottle, okay? And there's many different kinds of these bottles, and they're all very, very pretty, but they're dark. You see the difference in the color? One's got they're green, but it's a darker, and then this one, right? So these ones are $10. That's why I buy these ones. They're $10, and these ones are 20. So I do buy a lot of these. So I have a lot of these bottles, and what I do is I take the metal ring off the top. I take all the plastics off. I take all the labels off, and I use basically I use baking soda and dish soap to get them off, and it works just as good as that what is it called, Goo Be Gone or something like that. It's the same thing. It works the same way. So I save these bottles. Now what I'm going to show you that's really, really interesting, okay, is I don't drink a lot of wine, but I've been known to have a bottle or two, right? So I purchased a wine holder, right? And I've used this for so many different ideas over the years. And I've had this for a long time. So, Mr. Ralph, I call him. So anyhow, what I found is that I could use this instead of for wine. I could use it for many things. I've used it for paper towel and set it on my cupboard. Oh, hang on. Right? So it's a great paper towel holder because the paper towel doesn't get wet. So you can use it for that. You can also use it for olive oil. And I thought that was a really good idea. So I could take these bottles, and I do, as I'm a thrifter and a crafter, I do have the bottles, the tops, the corks. So I do have a whole bag of those. So I can put a cork in, put my olive oil in there, and there you go, right? But I've also used this to put my cell phone in. My cell phone will fit perfect in here with the cord attached to it, so I can charge it and leave it on the cupboard so my cell phone doesn't get knocked around or get knocked off the cupboard. So these type of things have many, many uses. However, the use that I'm going to use it for now, and I might still use it for my cell phone, but I might get a smaller one to see if I could get a smaller one. But I am going to get a few more wine bottle holders, okay? So what I'm going to use it for is I bought a glass engraver the other day, and I'm going to take my olive oil bottle and I'm going to perhaps draw pictures of an olive tree, or just olive leaves, or just simply the word olive in a font that's very kind of fancy, right? And I'm going to get a top, and I'm going to buy the large containers of the oil that you can buy in the large can. Mind you, they're pretty expensive, right? But we'll see how I go. But I am going to reuse these. And the reason why is because I like to keep it at hand in the kitchen, because I do use it a lot, right? So what I will use the clear one for is perhaps the vinegars that I make with the infused herbs. I'll put the herbs in my vinegars and keep my vinegars in the clear glass bottles, such as this, right? So I'll keep my vinegar in those, and I will keep my olive oil in the opaque one so it doesn't go rancid. So that was just a really good idea that I came up with for my bottles. Now what else I can do with these bottles is I want to buy a glass cutter, and I'm going to cut the bottles down the middle, and I'm going to make glass tumblers with the bottom. I mean, why should I go to the store and buy glasses when I have perfectly good glasses here? And you can basically cut them to there. You sand down the top with some fine sandpaper, and there you've got yourself a set of tumblers. So, everything, you have to be cautious though when you are sanding it down. You have to make sure that you're covered, you're wearing eye protection and things like that, right, if you're using a glass cutter. But indeed, you can fix these bottles into tumblers, into vases for flowers. You can turn it upside down and use it for a vessel to put succulents in. You can cut it, lengthwise and put a hole here and put the succulents in there. So, I mean, many, many varied uses for these things, okay? So just be aware of that. It doesn't have to go to the landfill. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is really neat. And we're talking about wine holders, okay? Wine bottle holders. So I'm going to show you what I've done in my bathroom. Now, I live in a one-bedroom apartment, okay? So my bathroom, this is my closet with this kind of like flower thing on it, this trellis, okay? I decorated that so when I walk out of my bedroom, I can see something pretty instead of just like a plain white wall. So my bathroom's on the other side of that. But in my bathroom, it's very, very narrow. And so the sink is here and the toilet is here, but there's a narrow little space there that's not being used. So what I thought is, I have a toilet paper roll built into the wall, but it keeps breaking. So I thought I want something a little bit different, right? So I looked at that space and I thought, okay, I can keep my toilet brush there, or I can keep my toilet brush on the other side, and I could utilize that to keep my toilet paper. So what I did is I went over to the store, and I had this idea before. So I went over to the thrift store. Sorry, my glasses are all spotty. And I found a wine bottle holder. And you can get all different kinds. You can get wood, you can get the metal ones, you can get all different kinds, right? So I got this one. So it's a big one. It's a big one. And I thought, what can I use that for? It's like I don't drink that much wine, but you can use it for a lot of things, okay? You can use it for a lot of things. But my idea is this. And I use it in that little space. This fits perfectly in that little space. And it slides in and it slides out really, really easy. So what I do is, I'll try to move this so you can see it. Oh, wait, that's the wrong way. I'm telling you, there's not a lot of room in these places here. I don't know how to put this thing. Oh, there we go. That's better, right? Okay. So you just take your toilet paper rolls and you put them. This is so pretty. I just love it. It just turns out so good. You put your toilet paper rolls there. So I just thought that was amazing. And I buy the no-name brand toilet paper. I mean, it always goes to the same place, right? But the point is, these rolls are thinner. These rolls are thinner, and so they fit in there very, very well. So we're going to fill this up with these rolls. I just thought it was the greatest idea ever. I thought it was the greatest idea since sliced bread. And it works. Whatever works, right? Whatever works. So put this over here. Now, it's not the prettiest right now, but Isn't that nice? And it fits right in beside the toilet and the sink. So, you know, you can be really creative. You can be creative. You can reuse things. You can recycle things. You know, as you notice, this is my toilet paper holder. I have, I'm going to be utilizing these to basically hold oil ingredients, whatever oil, whether it be, you know, whether it be a bath oil or whether it be olive oil for cooking. So I utilize them. I've utilized my kefir bottles to make a design on my closet. I've utilized a trellis from the dollar store with fake flowers to give me something with a little bit of color to it. And I've done this in a lot of areas in my home. And it's not overwhelming. It's just little simple things that kind of give my place a little bit of oomph, okay? And that's what I'm looking for. I mean, it would be nice to be able to afford a tiny home, but the way they're taxing our supplements now, I sure as heck don't think I'll be able to afford a tiny home, because they went from being like, you know, under 20,000 to being like 200,000 for a tiny home. Like, come on. Anyway, I just thought this was a great idea and I wanted to share it with you. So have a wonderful day, and I shall see you on the next video. God be willing. Namaste. Bye.